Hi everyone, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Saturday, the 26th of March 2022. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use the Line Strider Tarot for today's reading. Let's see what these cards have to say about Saturday and what the day is going to look like. So I'm just going to shuffle these as always, just a few times, and then I'm going to pick 3 cards to see what's going on. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you've had a great week and that you're looking forward to an amazing weekend here. Let's see what Saturday has to offer. First, we've got the King of Swords. Okay, the ability to make good decisions, to see through any untruths, which is interesting. Then we have the Page of Pentacles. Inexperience and a willingness to learn. So these two work very well together, because if you're seeing things clearly and you're busy learning on the job as such, you'll have a very good time. So you're teachable. And then finally we have the cover image. We have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is in charge of the element of water. Very loving, very nurturing. So she softens the energy of the King of Swords. So it's compassion, empathy, along with the ability to see things in a way that's crystal clear. And both of these two, they make a great couple. So there's a potential for love and to meet someone who really complements you and vice versa. And then we've got a family unit as such. So the potential to really just spend a nice time with those you love and to enjoy other people's company. Okay, so let's see what each card is about. And I do want to say I don't really like this card. I'm not a prude by any means, but I just don't think that cards that are overly sexualized are necessary in any way. I mean, the only thing, nudity in the tarot to me means the willingness to make yourself vulnerable and to appear in an authentic way. But this is kind of sexualized, and that to me seems artificial. Okay, so, well, actually, that's quite interesting. So I'll have a look at what that card's trying to say then. All right, so the King of Swords, we've got this very serious looking man. He's kind of like a Beethoven type of character. And we've got all these patterns which almost seem like wings to me. We've got this little bird there, or like crystals almost. So there's this natural sense of growth and the ideas leading to something that exists in its own right. So the message I'm getting is that something that only exists within your mind, you're able to manifest, you're able to realize that through taking the right action by deciding this is something that's important to me, this is something I want, so I'm going to work with it and make it real. So if you're a creative person, if you write, or you have any kind of decisions to make legally, or you have to write a contract or job applications or look over your CV, the King of Swords is really going to help you with all of that. Then birds in the tarot represent freedom and being able to express an idea or a message and having that go a long way. Being able to reach a great number of people. Then we have this kind of sphere, this circle around his neck, just kind of decorative in a way. So taking something that only exists again in your mind's eye and being able to express it beautifully. So if you have a passage to write and you really want to express a feeling in it and you want to be poetic and creative about it, and it's something where you have to really concentrate, and some days you get it right and other days not so much. This is a day where the words just come together beautifully and everything you're thinking takes on form and structure in a very easy way. And then also this is a circle. So there's a sense of continuity, there's a sense of beginning and ending. You're able to see the whole narrative very clearly. So being able to look at the bigger picture and to gain understanding from it. Then we have the sword, or the outline of a sword. And I really like that. Oh, and I'm just noticing the hilt down here. It's totally faded and it only becomes apparent through these patterns. So the sword in the tarot is the element of air, but the sword is a weapon. It's something that can cut and that can injure. And it's kind of this formidable energy. And here it seems much lighter and much more ethereal. So it's rather than, for instance, being aggressive or doing something that might intimidate another person, seeing that for what it is and being able to see that quality or that behavior and to step back from it and say, this is, instead of aggression, this is the idea of aggression. So it's very meta in a way. It's like a picture within a picture. You're able to step away from things, and rather than being hooked by them and having to losing control and getting sucked into something, you're able to take a few steps back and to analyze everything and to see whether you do want to engage with it. So you're very objective. And if there's anything in your life that you haven't been able to understand or that hasn't made sense, you'll gain understanding very quickly. So if you're studying a course and there's one part of the syllabus that just escapes you, look at it again today, you'll understand it and the penny will drop. Then we've got the Page of Pentacles. So the Page is a court card, the most inexperienced. The element of Pentacles is work. It's the element of earth. So it's anything that exists in a practical sense. So your environment, your appearance, your wardrobe, the way you dress, the way you present yourself, your health, the way you're creating income. And the Page of Pentacles is willing to look at all those areas and to become more adept, to gain new skills. We've got this little monkey down here with a little cap on, and that's playfulness, and that's even a bit of silliness. So you're not just able to learn, but you're able to offset the seriousness of the King of Swords, and you're able to combine learning with fun. Okay, then the thing that I was talking about before. So I suppose adopting a persona that you think is going to work in your favor, or identifying the way you present yourself, something you decided in the past, I need to present myself a certain way to have success in the physical world. You'll be able to look at that again today and see whether it actually is aligned with your true nature or whether it actually does serve you. So let's say I'm a student and I decide to present myself as very earnest because I think that's going to earn me brownie points with the professors rather than actually studying the books. So it's that abstract objectivity. Rather than playing the role, you can embody the role. Rather than trying to paint yourself as enticing or attractive, you can maximize characteristics within you that genuinely do make you attractive to other people. So you can get very real with yourself, and you can truly understand the vibe you're giving off, or the image you're presenting, or how you come across. So if you kind of struggle to see yourself as potentially other people see you, and you get a message over and over from other people, like for instance, let's say people always say, you just don't know how to apologize. And up until this point, you're like, what are they talking about? Of course I apologize, and I'm not sorry. Then you can actually look at that today and say, well, maybe they have a point, and maybe I can do something about it. And you're not going to go into the feelings so much. You have compassion for yourself. Then we've got this very serious, studious man saying, this is just a fact. You don't have to become overly elated or depressed about it. It's just what is. You have total control, and you can change the way you appear by changing your thinking. Finally, the Queen of Cups. So again, the family unit and these relationships, that kind of self-awareness and a willingness to look at yourself and to say, I'm not perfect and I can change things and improve. That bodes very, very well for your relationships, because everyone, well, not everyone, I would say most people are attracted to someone who is honest and who's willing to admit when they're wrong, or seems to be on a journey of personal discovery and self-improvement and spiritual enlightenment. In my experience, most people tend to respect that in other people, much more so than someone who's totally committed to being in denial or telling themselves some sort of untruth which makes them feel good. So the Queen of Cups, she is the boss of the element of water. She's very loving, and she's able to take difficult relationships and bring some love and compassion. So let's say there is a relationship that's been problematic and people have been arguing, or I'm very different to you and we're never going to get along, that kind of stuff, where people have put things in place which aren't necessarily constructive and conducive to a good relationship. You can see what needs to be done to get those people together. So you can not necessarily be matchmaker, but you can certainly mediate and work through arguments. And then if you're one of these people, if there are issues with another person, you can talk through those in a compassionate, loving way, and you can really get on the same page and be tolerant of other people's differences, and be in a relationship, a friendship, a family relationship with someone who's very different to you, and accept that and even celebrate it. So the Queen is looking at this little fish here. The jellyfish are floating around her. So if anything needs nurturing, you could do that very well. So you can be there for other people. And if you want to express something, again, in a creative way, that's not just based on facts and figures, but that's kind of, that has an emotional quality to it, you'll be very good at that. So it's the difference between writing a medical journal and writing the short story. Yeah. But at the same time, you can do both. You can be creative and poetic and musical. You can also do the CV and write the critical review. But the key is you're willing to learn how to do your best in both areas if you don't feel like you're an expert. Wow. So this is a very kind of intellectual and insightful day where you can express real truths or add real meaning and value to a situation through your learning, through your insight, through your understanding of a particular situation. And particularly applied to relationships or creative work, I think that's going to be the best scenario. Number-wise, we've got, and I've just noticed that, we've got 3 chord cards. So the chord cards appear as people or characteristics, and I've talked about that. In terms of numerology, they count as 1. So 1 and 1 and 1 is 3. And 1, 1, 1 together like this is like the 3 of wands. It's a new beginning. It's, I can make my life bigger. I can expand my own horizons. I'm teachable. I'm willing to learn, but I can also teach. I can move. I can go on an intellectual journey. I can go on a physical journey. Wow. So the 3 ones then combine to the number 3. And 3 in numerology is communication and new beginnings. So if there is any fear around expressing how you truly feel or making a fresh start, or, if you are writing, looking at the blank page and having to come up with the first line of the book, that can be very daunting. That is not going to be an issue for you today. It's going to actually feel very enjoyable, and the challenge is something that's exciting. Yeah, so throw yourself into something new. So that looks amazing in terms of what you can get done on this day. I hope you have a fabulous time. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to order your reading with me. I use the tarot, astrology, and numerology in my personal readings. If you have any questions about your personality, your characteristics, your strengths, weaknesses, what's coming up in future, any circumstances like your career, finances, relationships, travel, moving, anything at all, then please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.